Romans chapter 10, verse 14 to 15. How then shall they call on him in whom they have not believed? And how shall they believe in him of whom they have not heard? And how shall they hear without a preacher? And how shall they preach unless they are sent? Today, I Am has sent a preacher in the person of Evangelist Rodney Brown, your humble servant for Christ's sake. And now, Evangelist Rodney Brown.
All right. Too many people are hurting as a result of relationships and by false expectations in relationships. So let's deal with that quickly. Let us keep our tongue from evil and our lips from speaking deceit. When I was about 21, just being liberated from my shyness. Now I'm going to call some names, but I'm going to change the names a bit to protect people's identities. So after Janet pulled me out from my shyness, she had my full attention. For months, I was just on the phone with her for hours at a time. She had invested a lot of time in me. I assumed that, it was how normal relationships are. The attention that I was feeling for the first time in my life was great. Other young ladies who came along, I felt I had a better understanding of the kind of conversation and gestures that girls appreciated and wanted. I really wanted to be liked, so I facilitated everything that I knew that they would have wanted. As I said in my last series, I had two girlfriends in my life. What's a girlfriend? A girlfriend is somebody I intend to marry. But between those two girlfriends, there was Janet, Alicia, Melly, Addie, Lucy, there was Marcel, there was Maria, and there was Aisha. Yes? So that, I told you already, I changed the names. But those people might even be watching this video. I never considered them my girlfriends, but they gave me boyfriend privileges. As I said before, the long phone calls, the dates, the companionship, the gifts, the quality time, the affirmations, the acts of service. And yeah, I kissed three of them. Which was not right. While they were never considered my girlfriends, they were used, or they may have been used, to stroke my ego, my selfish ego. Even though I told them verbally, and I told them verbally that we were not in a relationship, my actions shouted loudly to them, "You are my woman." That could not have been right. I could not understand for the life of me why they could not understand that we were not in a relationship, because I said it clearly. Was I doing anything wrong? I'm sure the average young man who might be watching this would say that you said it clearly. They should have understood. Let us hear, though, what God has to say about this. And I turn to Psalm 34, verse 13. Keep your tongue from evil and your lips from speaking deceit. This verse seems to clearly say that we are to avoid deceitful communication. That we are to avoid deceitful communication. What exactly is deceitful communication? Communication is anything we transmit. Any way we transmit any ideas or anything. That's communication, generally. Deceit. What is to deceive? To deceive is to mislead by false statement or appearance. Don't miss appearance. So you can deceive by what you are appearing to transmit without saying a word. God is saying here to young men in particular, and young men and young ladies, but young men in particular, because I've seen this more among young men. Do not deceive by giving reasonable expectation of a relationship. I remember Dr. Robin and Brother Samuel on separate occasions giving me some guidance. I was in a singles camp or singles seminar we were having, and I remember it was at Ridgewalk in South. And he said, Brother Robin, Dr. Robin said something that was really strange to me, and it sounded a bit outlandish. He said, if I go out of my way to have girls like me, that it was demonic and devilish and self-seeking. And I could not understand that for anything. And maybe now I'm talking to young men and they probably don't understand anything. Hold on and listen. Brother, I didn't understand that, so I went on and I continued doing the same thing. And it was Brother Martin who told me some time ago, because he observed what I was doing, and he also observed the amount of women who have been hurt by men who were around me, that he said, look, he thought I was going to be doing the same thing. So he pulled me aside and he guided me. From that guidance and from hindsight, I know now that I gave those people those women, false expectations. And I did those ladies wrong. Even now, as I'm broadcasting this, I want to apologize publicly to those young ladies. They're probably saying, well, boy, I have to thank you for what for not being your girlfriend. Because look at you now. They're probably thinking, poor Lydia. But nevertheless, I apologize. For whatever it's worth, I apologize. Because, you know, I really, I'm sorry for what I did. You know, I want to apologize for giving them, for giving you all, or giving them the expectation that I would be pursuing a relationship. I apologize for my misleading attention, my misleading affirmations, my misleading affection. I want to apologize publicly for that, which led you again to reasonable expectations of a relationship. I understand now that Psalm 34:13 is telling me, keep my tongue from evil and my lips from speaking deceit. If you're going to avoid deceiving or being deceived by others, you need to send and receive clear and honest communication by what you do. Allow me to share 4 things very quickly. First, 11 things about boys not known by girls. Secondly, 4 things about girls every boy should know. Thirdly, what a real woman looks like. Or I'll say what a real man looks like. And fourthly, I'll tell you what a real woman looks like. So very quickly, things about boys not known by girls. The first thing that jumps out at me very quickly is that boys are oblivious to the fact that they give false expectations. I know you young ladies don't know this, but they don't have a clue. I'm telling you because I was a young man. We don't have a clue. They didn't know that boys don't know that they give. We don't know that we give false expectations. A boy will date you. He will treat you to nice things. He will tell you he loves you. He will even have sex with you and still consider you just a friend with benefits. They are not, boys generally are not ready or interested in a relationship or commitment. And by boy, I don't mean a chronological boy like people before the age of 12. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about people who by their actions show that they're boys. There are 40, 50, probably even 60-year-old boys. A boy is not interested in a relationship or commitment. Sex is not something that they only do in relationships. And that's the second time I'm making that point. So note, sex is nothing personal. The fifth thing I want to tell you about boys is that they change their minds. Boys can be fickle. Today they can like something, tomorrow they like something else. Boys generally, the sixth thing is that boys generally set the tone so that a boy in a group would tell you you're ugly. And once you're ugly, you're ugly. A boy in a group will tell you you are not good at something or whatever, or you're lame. And you would believe it whether you are lame or not. And most times you're not lame. Most times you're not ugly. But they're going to convince you that you're ugly. Boys set the tone, so you need to be aware of that in dealing with boys. The average boy is interested in sex and is prepared to pretend relationship for it. And I want you to know that very carefully. Boys know that girls with a low self-esteem are like clothespins. Play with the head and the other, just squeeze the head and the other side opens. Boys know that. And a boy can actually smell a weak girl. A boy can actually smell a weak girl. And I'm talking both literally and in terms of he can sense, figuratively, in the terms of that he could sense a weak girl. Again, I'm saying that I had an experience where a girl who was near to me, talking to me, had an experience where a boy she was attracted to came up to her. Her scent changed, and I knew her scent changed because she started to perspire and her scent changed. A boy could smell a weak girl. You need to know that. The 10th point is that, or 10th thing that you should know is that boys don't commit nor respect the side chick. They won't commit to you. So that if you are the side chick and hoping to get promotion at some point in time, you need to know that he's not going to commit to you as a side chick. And if you're looking for promotion anyway, you're going the wrong way, because if you even get promotion, then again there will be another side chick waiting to get promotion as well. Yes? So you need to know that. Boys don't make good husbands. That's the 11th and final point about this issue about boys. Men make good husbands. Now, I'm not saying this to teenagers who should be enjoying life and having plenty friends at this point in time, learning, educating themselves, learning marriageable skills and that kind of stuff. I'm not talking to teenagers. I'm talking to women who are ready for marriage. So that I want to let you know that when you are truly ready for marriage, marry a man, not a boy. I almost said marry a boy. But marry a man, not a boy. And this is a side note again. Young ladies, because not many boys will be looking at this video, they may miss this. You need to learn to hear what they're saying. So when they verbally say that you're not in a relationship with them, you need to be able to navigate through all that they're doing. You need to navigate through the dating. You need to navigate through the sex. You need to navigate through the wonderful words that they might be telling you, and understand that you're not a girlfriend. And in many cases, you're not likely to be their girlfriend. So that's a side note for you. If you are going to avoid deceiving or being deceived by others, we need to understand boys. Secondly, my second point of 4 is things about girls every boy should know. The first thing that a boy should know is that they don't have ears. Girls don't have ears. I know you don't believe me, But girls don't have ear. The things that you're seeing at the side, the appendages at the side of their head are earring holders. They're not ears. So notwithstanding what I said before, girls won't hear when you tell them things. They hear you by your actions. They don't hear your words, they hear your actions. So you need to know that. They hear you by what you do. So what you do is going to impact them more than what you actually say to them. They can have children for you that are not yours. Yeah. And mind you, if they have a child for you, you can't put the child up for adoption. You don't get that privilege. They may be able to, but you can't put the child up for adoption. That child is yours, and I thought it was until 18, but I later learned that child is yours until postgraduate studies if they apply for maintenance after that. So you are locked into that could possibly be until postgraduate studies. They have remote controls. I remember being in a pool playing with a ball, and I grabbed the girl breast, and I was there busy apologizing for grabbing the young lady, and I was outside the pool and still apologizing, and a friend of mine who was a female pulled me aside and said, listen, I was looking at what was going on all the time. She was controlling that. You weren't controlling that. Don't worry about that. But I didn't know. Yeah. They have remote controls. Non-Christian guys, this one is for you. So that a Christian girl will not accept you, will never accept you for who you are. And besides that, she's a hypocrite. Because the Word of God, and I know you don't like hypocrites. You do not like hypocrites. The Word of God says that she ought not to be unequally yoked. And you know that. So that when she puts herself with you, if you're not saved, if you're not a church boy, she is being a hypocrite. So that, again, I know you don't like hypocrites. But I need to tell you that about girls too. And if by chance you change her, if you change her, she will resent you for a very long time. So you need to know that about girls. If you're going to avoid deceiving or being deceived by others, we need to understand girls. Let me quickly tell you what a real man is. This is a picture of a real man. A real man don't play games. They don't string you along for years before they know if they want to be with you. They will pursue you. A real man will pursue you. He will court you, and then he will marry you. Ladies, don't waste time with boys. If you're going to avoid deceiving others, be a real man. What is a real woman? A real woman is one who would not take a free ride. She wouldn't just go out with you and lead you on, listen to your intimate secrets, allow you to invest time and money and other resources in her, give you reason, she wouldn't give you reasonable expectations, and then tell you that you are not Mr. Right and that you can't be more than just friends. She will let you know if she's available to you. She will allow you to court her. And if she's available, she will say yes to your marriage proposal. That is what a real woman looks like. If you're going to avoid deceiving others, be a real woman. What have we learned? We've learned that we have a tendency to deceitfully communicate false expectations. We've learned 11 things about boys that few girls know. We've learned 4 things about girls that are known by few boys. We have learned that boys and girls don't make good husbands and wives. We've learned what a real woman and a real man looks like. So you see, all this hurt that people are experiencing, it's unnecessary. Just listen to what the Word of God says, and you will not be hurt, or you will not fall prey to false expectations. Let us keep our tongues from evil and our lips from speaking deceit. God bless you.
midst of the noise, in the midst of the chaos. Come on, just ask him today. Oh, 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 say, oh.